focus onto the debate now. And Karan Verma, well, the opposition says there's nothing special about this session. आपको अलग सेशन, स्पेशल सेशन बुलाने की जरूरत क्या थी? आप वेट कर लेते विंटर सेशन का अगर आपको यही बिल्स इंट्रोड्यूस करने थे और यही इश्यूज उठाने थे.
Swati, Mr. Modi and his government is known to keep its cards very close to its chest. And of course, now after the all-party meet, we do know that there is going to be a reflection on the 75 years of journey, right from the Constituent Assembly to present day. There could be a shift to the new Parliament building tomorrow on Ganesh Chaturthi. And yes, there is some legislative business. There are 8 bills that we know of. 4 or 5 of them have already been passed in one house or the other or have been pending. So yes, this is the legislative business they have to take care of. Also, let's understand this. We are at a special time. The success of the G20, the success of Chandrayaan, these are achievements that the nation is proud of. And I think it's a good time to discuss that, put that in front of the people of this country. And who knows what surprise they may have. That's something we are all keeping our eyes out for.
Advocate Nikhil Jain, a lot has happened in the past 75 years. There are multiple achievements, there are multiple memories, experiences, learnings that need to be discussed. Now the government says apart from all of that, there are 8 bills as well. They'll be taken up for consideration and passing. So what is the opposition really, making a big deal about? Itna sure opposition mein kyun hai?
Swati, the big deal is about the fact that the government of the day today does not want to tell the parliament, the parliamentarians, what it wants to discuss in the parliament. If each one of your viewers, every citizen needs to understand the primary purpose of the parliament, which is to hold the government to account, for the opposition to do that role. And in order for that opposition to do that, the opposition must at least know what is going to happen in the parliament, and nobody knows. The government has been giving this boogie that we are celebrating 75 years. May I remind the government that it has been 76 years and 1 month since independence, 76 years and 9 months since the Constituent Assembly came into being. It has not yet been 75 years since we became the Republic of India, and this became the Parliament of India, of independent India, Republic of India. Then what 75 years benchmark are they celebrating? If they just want to reflect on those 75 years, they could have very well done it in the monsoon session that just passed, which was also very close to the Independence Day. They could have done it in the winter session that is about to come. The entire boogie of having a special session.
Let me quickly ask you a follow-up question. Did the opposition actually let the monsoon session also to function normally?
Exactly.
Did the opposition allow that? क्या एक बार भी एक दिन भी किसी discussion पर शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से गुजरा है?
Was Prime Minister Modi or his government willing to discuss the most pressing issue of the country, the situation that was happening in Manipur, the absolute violence? Some people would call it a civil war.
Was the opposition wanted the Prime Minister's statement? Karan Verma wants to come in.
Swati, we have a very incompetent opposition today, and I say this with complete conviction at my command. When the Prime Minister was making a statement on Manipur, this opposition, the Congress party and the opposition, walked out. They have stalled one session after the other on bogus ground. Sometimes it's Pegasus, sometimes it's Rafale, the other time it was Adani, and they have been rebuked, and the BJP or the government in power has been validated time and again. So yes, in a normal course, the agenda should be clear. But we have an opposition that wants to stall every single parliament session, that has done that over the last 4 sessions ad nauseum. And it's high time the opposition upped its game. They have not been able to ask stinging questions to the government. Look at what Rahul Gandhi said when he was given the floor to speak on Manipur. He was talking about his spiritual epiphanies, how he was arrogant, then he did Bharat Jodo Yatra, then they came to Adani. Dimple Yadav talked about electricity disruptions. They have failed to ask any stinging questions. They also don't have the moral temerity.
Right. Sonia Gandhi, Karan Verma is saying, if there is a special agenda, if there is a special issue that is going to be coming up during the special session, why not inform the opposition in advance? The opposition will also be prepared. Now, before I take a response from you and Advocate Jain on that, let's listen into the reactions that are coming in from the BJP and the allies. BJP का कहना है कि हमने day 1 से जो भी किया, we went by the book. हमने कुछ भी illegal नहीं किया. Let's listen.
I wouldn't want to speculate on whether it's a routine or a special session. It's a parliament session. Let's look at it positively, constructively, and do something which is in the interest of the nation. As I said, from our party side, we have suggested something about the Women's Reservation Bill. There will be other legislation which the government will also bring. Everything what is done in parliament should be in the interest of the nation.
Karan करण वर्मा, आप कह रहे हैं कि स्पेशल सेशन है, नॉर्मल कोर्स में एजेंडा बता देना चाहिए, तो ऑपोजिशन भी यही कह रहे हैं. इनफैक्ट द ऑपोजिशन इज आल्सो क्लेमिंग क्रेडिट फॉर द गवर्नमेंट रिवीलिंग द एजेंडा, इंक्लूडिंग हाउ 75 years of the parliament's journey is going to be discussed, celebrated, and the 8 bills. तो उनका कहना है हमने प्रेशर बनाया, सोनिया गांधी ने पत्र लिखा, उसके बाद गवर्नमेंट को ये भी बताना पड़ा. इतना भी गवर्नमेंट बताने को तैयार नहीं.
No, Swati, I think the convention has generally been that a few days before the special session, the agenda is put out, but yes, not every detail is shared. Swati, take for example, आप एक उदाहरण लीजिए, Article 370. If the centre would have discussed that and announced that in public view that we are going to remove Article 370, what do you think would have happened in Kashmir? This irresponsible opposition would have taken to the streets, caused disruptions, and been a typical Andolan GV. They do not want any legislation to pass, they do not want any session to function, and they failed to question the government also. On Manipur, I was waiting for them to question. What did Rahul Gandhi do? Nothing. When the Prime Minister was speaking, what did they do? They walked off. On a mere technicality, they did not discuss Manipur till they passed the no confidence motion, which made no sense. So this is an opposition with no vision, no mission, just
Let's
disruption.
take a quick rebuttal from Advocate Jen.
Karan has been talking about how Article 370, none of the parliamentarians were told about it. Even the Lieutenant Governor appointed by the BJP, a BJP person was not told about it. This is not how a parliamentary democracy functions, Karan. You can't say that the opposition is irresponsible, but the government is responsible. So let the government do everything in secrecy and the opposition is just to sit at the benches. That is not how a parliamentary democracy functions. Karan earlier also raised the issue of Pegasus, Rafael and Adani and how the opposition had these boogie issues. I don't understand that the tallest leader of the opposition in the country being spied by the government, unsanctioned by a software that lets the government look at his private photos.
This is lies. Sorry,
No. There was credible proof. Karan, there was credible proof of it. There was credible proof of it. The government did not give any answer on
Rahul Gandhi, your tallest leader, refused to hand over the phone.
No.
He landed with a foot in his mouth,
What
just as he issued an apology for Rafael.
Did the government answer on
Rahul
Pegasus?
Gandhi
Did the
has
government
lied with
even
a foot in his
admit
mouth
that they
on
have
both the
Pegasus
issues.
or they don't
Pegasus
have?
as well as
Was there
Rafael.
a single admission
All
or
right,
denial by the
all right,
government?
Karan
on
Verma
Pegasus?
and Advocate
And
Jen.
on the issue of
Okay, all right, gentlemen, I'll have to
Pegasus,
interrupt.
that is not
Okay, let me come in. Let me come in, Advocate Jen. Karan Verma and Advocate Jen, stay on with us. We're taking a very quick break on the broadcast. On the other side, of course, the discussions will continue. We'll get you more reactions and updates as well. Stay on with us.